Praise God. This morning, I want to admonish you on the strength of God. I really don't know what you are going through right now. I just want you to know that when your strength fails you, what you actually need is Jesus. When your strength fails you, you actually need God. You need the strength of God to sustain you. Let's quickly turn our Bibles to 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insult, hardship, persecutions, and calamities." Child of God, the power of God we are referring to here is the strength of God, because other translation says that my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. In times of weaknesses, what you need is the strength of God. In times of weaknesses, what you need is the power of God. We are not called to rely on our own strength. If we rely on God's power, we can overcome it. In addition, God's strength acts as a shield from feelings of anxiety we may experience. When we fully put our trust in Him, He walks alongside with us. Don't put your trust on your strength. Don't rely on what you know. Don't rely on what you can do. Don't rely on any other entity, such as occultism, such as juju, such as fetish things. It can never help you. The only supreme being who can help you is God. The strength of God, the power of God, the grace of God is what actually you need. He said that He will boast in His weakness. He will boast in that calamity, is because He realized that the strength of God was actually with Him. That is actually the time that God draws closer to help him, to stretch forth His hand to help him. That is the reason why He said He will boast in it. As a child of God, I want you to know that the strength of God is with you. Whatever you are going through, rejoice. Whatever you are going through, laugh. Whatever you are going through, know that God is with you, and that problem can never consume you. Sometimes Satan throws thorns in our flesh. These thorns that he throws is evil. But know that God has designed this for a purpose. He has really designed it and overruled it for our own good. And when such a thing happens to you, the only thing you need is prayer. Because prayer is a salve for soul. The only remedy for malady. Without prayer, there is no way man can draw closer to God. Without prayer, there's no way man can overcome challenges and difficult times. Without prayer, there is no way God can draw closer to you. So the only time you will experience the power of God, the only time you will experience the strength of God is through prayer. We should give ourselves to prayer even when our first answer is not given. The answer to your prayer is not given, or even the second prayer answer has not been given to you. Keep on praying, because the Bible tells us to pray without ceasing. If your first prayer has not been answered, if it seems like God has not considered your supplication, that is not the time to give up. That is not the time to give up, because if you give up on God, that problem will consume you. That challenges, that calamity will consume you. Child of God, remember, when you die, your enemy will rejoice over you. So you need to do whatever you can to receive the power of God, to help you in your trial moment, to help you in your temptations. Troubles are sent to teach us to pray. So we need to continue in instant prayers. Though God accepts the prayer of faith, but sometimes it looks like He doesn't show us love. It looks like He doesn't answer our prayers. It looks like God is not there. But I tell you, God is there. He's right there with you. The time you are praying, He's right there with you. Where you are sitting, where you are standing praying, God is right there. His presence is present there with you. He's only giving you the grace to overcome. When God does not take away our troubles and temptations, yet he gives us enough grace to sustain us, then it is enough. Then there's no reason to complain. Because once his grace is sustaining you, it means he will take you through it. And you will surely cross over. You will surely cross over the Red Sea. So there's no need to complain. Remember that grace signifies the goodwill of God towards us. And that is enough to enlighten us. That is sufficient to strengthen and to comfort us in all afflictions and distresses. You cannot rely on yourself. We are not called to rely on our own strength, no matter how big an obstacle in front of us may seem. If we rely on the power of God, we can overcome it. In addition, God's strength acts as a shield from feelings of anxiety we may experience when we put fully our trust in him. He will walk alongside with us. Child of God, I don't know what you are going through. I don't know how big the problem is. But I want you to know that if your strength has failed you, then look for the power of God to help you. If your strength has failed you, then look for the strength of God to help you through prayer. If all that you know, maybe you thought someone could have helped you, but the person failed you, don't worry. Don't blame the person. He is just a human. But God can never fail you. So run to God. Run to his shield. Run to him. Look for the power. Look for his grace to help you. And when the grace of God is sufficient for you, you shall surely overcome your difficult moment. I pray that may the good Lord attend to you. I pray that the strength of God be made manifest to you. I pray that the power of God comes upon you so that you will endure to the end. And I know that God will glorify himself in your life. Once you run to him, he will not fail you. May the good Lord be with you. May the good Lord help you overcome. May the good Lord cause his countenance to shine upon you. May the good Lord show you love. His love is Jesus. May you meet Jesus at the point of your need. Shalom.